Hello. Good afternoon, creative friends. Happy Saturday. I have been wanting to do something with this stencil set that I have for a while now. So I thought I'd come on and do a little bit of devotion and crafting with you. So we are going to do a s'mores devotion. I'm going to be using the stencil set from Stencil Smith, and I will post in the link where I got it from. If you're interested in getting it, you can get it. But the really cool thing about these type of stencils is you can use them for craft projects, and then you can also use them in your Bible or in your mixed media book for devotion. And today, I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it up to how it goes. We're going to do a devotion, and then I'll show you kind of how I did this, and then maybe we'll do I think we'll do this today. So here we go. Today's devotion is S'mores and God's Refining Fire. And the scripture, if you want to dive into that, is Hebrews 12:29. For our God is a consuming fire. So the devotional thought is, everyone loves a good s'more. Gooey marshmallow, melted chocolate, and crispy graham crackers. But to make one, there's a process. The marshmallow has to go through the fire. Without the heat, it stays stiff and cold, and the treat just isn't complete. Today here is the perfect day in Florida. I'm sure it's going to be pretty cool tonight because it's 74 now, so it would be a perfect night for a campfire. Our lives are a lot like marshmallows. Sometimes we face fires, hard seasons, trials, and moments of stretching. I think that's like every day. Oh, Lord. It can be uncomfortable and even painful, but God uses those moments to soften our hearts, refine our faith, and make something beautiful and sweet. And sweet out of what felt like a mess. When we let God work in us through the heat, He brings together all the parts of our lives. The graham cracker of stability, the chocolate of His sweetness, and the softened heart of faith to create something good. Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. So next time you roast a marshmallow, remember, even when life feels hot, God's fire isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to transform you. I don't know why my thing is beeping over there. So that was my thought on s'mores and God's refining. Again, we'll just go ahead and I'll show you how I painted this guy up and maybe talk about some reflection questions. So these boards, Marie used them actually in her wedding, and I thought it would be fun to just do some creating with them since she wasn't going to use them. So they're basically just a wood plank, and I love it that it still has the bark on it, and I thought what a great idea to put maybe the s'mores on it. So I base coated the plank with black and blue because I want to be able to see the stencil. Oops, I just lost myself. And right here, what I did was I placed it on the plank and I kind of marked off about where I wanted it to end. And then the rest of it, I just put the blue, and that's where we're going to stencil the s'mores. Isn't he cute? I think he's adorable. All right, so let's go ahead. So I haven't really stenciled with stencils in a while. It's been a while, so I'm just reintroducing myself to them again too. But I do remember it is important to keep the stencil flat. Here's the thing. I wasn't sure how it was going to work because this isn't a smooth surface. So it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to do our best. So I'm going to go ahead and center this. And then you can use some painter's tape to just kind of hold it down as you're working. I think I only need one piece, but you could put several pieces on if you want. And then let's put this here. I'm going to grab some white. And I'm just using white acrylic paint. And I'm going to use, now I just ordered some stencil brushes from them. I do have some here, and it does matter, I think, the brush you use. I mean, you have to use a stenciling brush, and there's different types of, actually, I'll probably use this one. There's different sizes, just like in anything else. Let me grab this big one to show you. So if you're doing really big stencils, you have a bigger brush, and then for some reason, I like to do a lot of smaller work, so I'm going to go ahead with that and do that. And I think I'm going to use this one. And if I remember correctly, to teach you, I don't want to teach you wrong. So basically, is a pounce, 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 a gentle pounce on your surface. You want to make sure that you load up your brush, but you don't want it to be overloaded, because what will happen is the paint will just kind of go underneath the stencil. I remember back in the day, I don't know if they still use it. Like I said, I'm still learning about, because I haven't stenciled like this in a while, but we used to spray with an adhesive on here, but I don't know. I didn't have to do it this time, but so it may take me a while, so we might have to chit chat. I might bore you a little. So it's just pounce, pounce, pounce. And you can, I actually went over it and then went over it again. And the stencil says, the weather outside is frightful, but the s'mores are so delightful. And we had to get rid of our fire pit. We have, it's one of those ones you buy from Home Depot or something. And so we won't be able to have a fire tonight, but I enjoy. Fun story. When I was dating my husband, I lived in Maine. He's from Florida. So he comes up and we go outside. It was cold weather. And we have a campfire. And I always had some more stuff around the house for the kids and everything. So we went outside. We had a campfire. And we're eating marshmallows. And he's eating s'mores. And this is when we were first together. And years later, I come to find out that my husband hates marshmallow. It's amazing what happens when you're trying to impress somebody, right? Anyway, I always have loved them. And like the new thing too now is to use like Reese's with them. You can put Reese's on them. What other candies can you put on? Anything really chocolate that's going to melt, because we want that melt. So I am going live tomorrow. I'm going to do my live sale tomorrow. I'll put up a reminder. This little guy will be for sale. And I think I'm going to do it a little later, because we're going to go and visit Kevin's mom. So I think I'll probably do it maybe around 7 tomorrow. So this way I have time to get home. So again, I'm just pouncing. Just kind of some late pouncing going on. It's better to go late and then just go over it again, I think. But like I said, I'm kind of new again. I'm coming back into doing this type of stenciling. Honestly, well, anyway. And let me finish Justine Squirrel. Go back. I think this is a perfect size stencil too. I like working with the smaller. All right, so I came on and I talked about s'mores and refining the fire. And again, I'm going, actually I should say I'm going up and down, straight up and down. Okay. Let's see. So what fire or challenge has God used recently to strengthen your faith? What has God, fire or challenge? And can you see the good out of it? Can you see how the heat is working and remolding you? All right, I'm going to go over it one more time just to make sure. And you want to be careful not to move the stencil. So again, this is a stencil set that I got from Stencil Smith. I really enjoy their stencils. And I like it because I can use them on my craft projects, and then I can also use them in my mixed media books if I wanted to for Bible journaling. It takes a little bit more time than silk screening the stencils, but I don't know, I like it. And then you can always gently lift up. It's actually not coming out too bad. I love it, actually. My little s'mores guy. Pounce, pounce, pounce. It looks like somebody might have said something, but I can't see the comment. And I didn't bring my phone over, so hello if you're there. I'm sorry. All right, I should have. Make sure that your brush is not wet because you'll get smudges, which I'm a little concerned in that area right there because the brush was a little wet. And before you lift it off, just check it. You got the tape on here to make sure that it stays in place, so you can just lay it back down and you don't have to worry about it moving. You guys get ready for the holidays? It's so funny. Halloween is over now, so I'm like, okay, Thanksgiving. I'm not going to skip Thanksgiving, even though the newer generation probably does go right to zippity over to Christmas. I will, however, start listening quick to Christmas music because as I'm crafting, it gets me more and more in the mood. But I, of course, didn't get as much done as I wanted to this year. Of course. Okay, so here we go. The reveal. Woohoo! Look at that. All right. I am going to use a wipe just so that I can get some of that paint off. It's always good to Actually, I'm going to leave the wipe on there to keep it moist, and then I'm going to go back to it later and wash it off. You want to keep it moist so you can wash it. All right. Let's see. Now I'm going to use my heat gun. I just want to tap it a little bit just so I don't mess it up. The other thing you can do is take an extra fine liner brush and come through and connect the lines if you want. I mean, it depends on the look that you want. Oh, let me switch glasses. If you don't mind it being, that look. If you want it that look, that's fine. Otherwise, just come through. And if you see certain spots, you can, touch up if you're daring enough. Or if you're really daring and you want to practice your lettering, you can always go over it. I used to do that, and I probably will in the future. But right now, we're just going to hang out and connect the lines. Again, it's not something you have to do. It's a preference thing. Let's see, we got over here, E, O. I like my little devotion. If you're just joining me after I'm done here, go to the front of the video, and I did a cute little devotion on s'mores. All right, I think I got everything. Another reflection question is, how can you say soft-hearted instead of bitter during difficult times? It's Kim. Hi, Kim. I just saw. Thank you for putting that up there. Yep. It's the verse actually is talking about silver. But I'm kind of loosely talking about it to kind of go with my little s'mores thing. But Kim, yep. Kim will tell you the facts for sure because she's secretly a pastor. She is. She really is. But so for me coming here, I'm just kind of making you think a little bit while we're crafting and just kind of connect with God and kind of a way to worship. Just something fun to do. Alrighty, so now we're going to take this layer and you're going to center it to where you want it. I think I'm going to lower it a little bit. Now here, this part is your base, and then here it says overlay, so that'll go on top of that. And again, I'm going to grab my tape to kind of hold it in place. So I have, where's my guy? I gotta look at him real quick. So we want some brown. So I'm gonna use, this has been my go-to, honey brown. So we're gonna use some honey brown. And then we're gonna use the white again. I'm gonna start with the white since I have that. Just make sure your brush is nice and dry. Snowman. Yeah, my s'more snowman. He's my s'more snowman. All right, and then here we go. Pounce. This is actually stenciling is a good way to kind of sit and reflect too, because it's when you're sitting here pouncing, you can just reflect. You hear me pouncing? So I'm putting in some snow. Don't forget your white dots here on the side. And over here. Now, you can go ahead and fill this all in. Or you can like maybe put a light layer. And what I'm going to do, because I'm a painter and I like to paint, I'm going to go over it and paint it. The bigger places, I don't know, I just feel like I need to paint. But at least I have the outline and it makes it a lot easier than just sitting there trying to draw it. I'm just going to re-dab these guys. All right, and then I'm gonna, same thing with this one. I'm just gonna go on the outside and just get the outline of it, and I'm gonna paint it. Again, you can use a bigger brush, a bigger stencil brush, and use it, but I'm choosing to do it this way. All right, and then I'm gonna rinse them out. And then grab my graham cracker crust. Let's make sure it's nice and dry. And just pounce, pounce, pounce. Same thing with this. I might go over it and use my regular brush. We'll see. Pounce. I don't know. I guess it takes time to figure out, well, how much paint. You know what? It's definitely better to go light and then each layer, layer it real lightly to make it darker instead of just trying to go all full out dark. All right, let me grab. I'm gonna see if I can wipe just a little bit of this off since it's wet. I'm not gonna worry too much because these stencils actually clean off fairly well. You know, you can wait a little time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Best thing ever if you're a creator. Dry it up. Make sure that you're not. Us left-handed people, we tend to put our hand in everything. All right. So again, I could have painted the whole thing with the stencil, but I'm going to just come in here real quick. There's something about using a brush. I don't know. I know. So, and the stencil, is basically an outline. You can do whatever you want with it. Put that up there. I have to turn my stuff. It's fun to repurpose stuff. I was saying how these wood planks are from Marie's wedding. And I'm repurposing them. With the stencil, you don't have to worry about getting that straight line because you already have it. So that's a good thing about using the stencils. And depending on the way you want things to look. So this is fun. Like, you know how it has this really funky edge? I mean, that's just a really great way to show yourself that it all doesn't have to be straight. Just kind of let loose a little. It doesn't have to look exactly like the stencil. Anyway, I guess it's supposed to be snow up top. Or it could be more marshmallow, right? Okay. Yay, he looks so cute. Makes my heart happy. All right, let's go ahead and dry him up a little bit. I have a feeling I'm going to go ahead and add more to that. But I want to dry this up. You guys listening to Christmas music yet? All right, I'm going to grab another small brush. And I'm just going to, because of who I am, I'm just going to go over this real quick. And again, you don't have to. This is just my preference. For me, I don't know, it kind of helps me to practice painting. Okay. Just my preference. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put the overlay. So that's the really good thing about the stencils. You got the overlay. You don't even have to worry about the face or anything. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You just want to make sure it's dry so that you don't mess it up. I'm pretty sure that's dry. Nothing on my hands. All right, so then all you have to do is center it to the spaces here. We'll add our tape again. And then what do I want? I need the brown again. We're going to dab on in, make sure your brush isn't too wet. Dab, dab, dab. Come in again. I think what I'm going to do is try something. I think I'm going to go in there and then let it dry, but then come back. I'll do the rest of it. So I'm using honey brown. And you just want to go up and down, tap, 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 tap. I'm going to put it in there and grab the little one. I'm going to grab some black. Now, I'm going to show you, two tips. So, is my black not? Okay. Dot, dot, dot. Actually, this one isn't a very good. I don't think this one is a stencil brush. I don't know. But I'm going to show you something in a minute. This might have to go in the garbage because I don't think this is a stencil. Actually. Usually, I'm pretty sure the stencil brushes have a flat, which I'm going to learn it so I can tell you guys, but I'm pretty sure it has a flat surface. Like, you can't see, but that one has like a little bit of a... There is a difference between a stencil brush and a... We'll try this one. I don't think that's going to work either. Let's see what it says on here. Scumbler. Yeah, no, that definitely doesn't feel... Because the bristles on it, I think, are stiffer. Where's the one I used earlier, though? This has to be... Maybe I just need new black. Okay, let's try this. I kind of feel like this one's now too stiff. Yeah, I don't know. Feels a little too stiff. All right, and then I'm going to use some orange. You can use bright orange or you can use a darker orange. I am going to use, what do I have here? Persimmon? Persimmon. And you just got to put a little bit. You only need a little bit. All right. Dab, dab, dab. Get some. This one I could have used a bigger brush because it has more of an area to fill. But I got this one, so we'll use this one. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel like that other brush. And I have a feeling. Now, see how that. Can you see how the paint went under? I'm going to actually, well, I'm not going to worry about it, but that's part of, because this brush really isn't the right brush, and I overloaded the paint a little bit too much, but what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll adjust it. It's all part of the learning curve. All right, let me find my brush I was using because that was a very good stencil brush. You know what? That's what crafting is about. Just learning different techniques and learning as you go. All right, I'm going to get some chocolate. Coffee. Dark chocolate. And I'm going to go ahead just a little bit. Yeah, there's just, the feel is so much different. Let's see. This is a scrumbler though too. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. All right. Just make sure the paint is not wet. Make sure your brush is not wet. And then dab, dab, dab off of the brush. It's better to have less paint than more. And it is important to have the right brush. The other thing is if you don't have the brushes, you can actually just use a pencil and outline. And then I can see that move. You can outline it and then just paint it normal if you don't feel like stenciling it. Actually, I'm not going to waste the time to do that. I'm bad. I'm going to just pull it off and I'm going to just refine it. We're going to refine it with my paintbrush because that's what I like doing. All right. Although I have a bazillion paintbrushes in here now. Let's see. All right, let's clean this guy up a little bit here. I'm going to go in here, go along the edge. And I'm sure that once you get used to stenciling and using the right brush and all that, that you won't need to do this. I'm choosing to come in here because that's the whole purpose of stenciling, is so that you don't have to worry about painting. Okay. I'm thinking about s'mores. The gooiness. Alrighty. All right. Now I'm going to get fancy on you. Actually, I'm going to come in here real quick. I'm going to just put a little bit more white on here. I just want this part to be a little bit more. So you could stop there. That could be your little guide. Actually, I got to do the nose. I forgot. Let's clean him up a little. Now, when you do a carrot, I don't like it to be perfect. I like it to be a little bit obscure. And I also want to show you, there's tools out there that if you feel like you didn't do a good enough job, I'm pretty sure these are for clay work, but you can come in here and you can just when your paint is cooperating. Wait a minute. I don't know why my paint, but you can make dots like that if you wanted to come back through. Isn't that cool? These are a lot of different tips and tricks that you can do. I think I want his eyes bigger. I think I made them bigger on the other one too. I am going to make them bigger. Okay, yeah, I wanted his eyes just a little bit bigger. Your piece, you do what you want. All right, I'm going to grab like an 1/8 inch. This is a number 2. I like to work with the smaller. I'm going to grab a little bit, actually, I think it was raw sienna that I used. It was raw sienna, yeah. A little bit of raw sienna. I probably could use the graham cracker. I think that's what I used. Yeah, raw sienna. I just want to add a little bit of, let me see here, just a little spot. Now, here's the difference. You can do basic if you're a beginner, or you can add a little bit of detail, or you can add a lot of detail. I'm just going to add a little bit extra detail, just to add a little something to it. But that's all part of the process. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab me a little bit of raw sienna, and I'm going to dip the side of my brush in and do some highlighting over here. Sometimes I like to go ahead and do the blend by adding a little bit of the white. There we go. So you're just dipping it in. Joey, can you hear my son? And if you think it's too dark, then you can just come in here again with the white and kind of fade it out a little. This takes a little practice, so if it's something that you're not comfortable with, you can just leave it and not worry about that part of it. Don't overthink it. Alrighty. see how it just kind of gives it a little bit of oomph? And I'm going to go here on the sides. Just a little bit of shading. And blending. And then you could just like kind of like bring it out a little bit into the middle, towards the middle. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Same thing on this side. It just takes practice. You'll get it. I think it's a little too dark, so I'm going to come in and just kind of blend. You want to work with it while the paint is still wet. And you can add a little bit of water to it if it seems like it's not blending. I think he's a cutie. And I think I added, did I add just, let me look. Nope, I didn't. Alrighty. So that could be snow up top. I don't know. I just kind of thought it would be fun to have a little bit of marshmallow on the head too. But it's probably snow falling. Look what I did. Let's see. Make sure your paint. I don't think I'll be able to clean that up. See if I can get some of it off, and then I'll just add a little bit of blue. That always happens to me. All right, let's add some blue. All right. Then for the, you know what? I'm going to show you. To keep it real simple, we're going to use the pen drawing marker. Actually, you probably want a paint marker, but I don't think I have an extra fine. Although on this surface, it's a little gritty, so I don't know. Oh, one other thing. I want to do a little bit of, just a little dot of burnt umber, because I am going to just highlight a little. And like I said, this is just my preference. You don't have to do it. When you're stenciling, you can just use the stencil as is, but this just adds a little extra. All right, so I think, yeah, I did just a little bit on the bottom and the top. Just adding a little bit of a highlight line or shading, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to curve it up a little. And it doesn't have to all be the same, thickness or whatever. Just kind of let it do its own little thing. I'm not the best with shading and oh my goodness, my son is screaming in there. This generation and their screaming with their video games. And just go through. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. And like I said, honestly, you really did not need it, but I just decided. Touch you up a little bit. He's a happy little s'more. Look at him. Oh, Ozzy, you can lay down. Alrighty. So now, let's see. I'm going to try and do it for you. Did I do it again? This black keeps getting on me. And I'm just going to outline the nose. And then you can make some little lines. When I'm doing my outline, a lot of times I don't like to connect the line. I think it's more fun to not connect it. And then if you're wanting to and daring enough to get a little little brush and a little bit of white and kind of like, well, let me dry this real quick. On his nose, you can add a little line here. You can actually add white highlights here too if you wanted to. That's just going into it more. But you guys got that idea. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take my stencil again. And I'm just going to use the top part here. Let me just make sure this is dry. Thanks, Kim. I don't know if you're still here or not, but thanks. All right, my stencil brush. Let's make sure it's cleaned out. And I'm going to go through and add. You need to go in the garbage. You need to go there. I'm going to kind of put it to the side. And you can see through it, so you can kind of see where you might want to have it. So I'm going to put it here. It's actually upside down. And the only reason why I'm switching it is because I already have paint on that side, so I figure I don't want to add more paint. Dab, dab, dab. With smaller details like this, it's definitely a lot easier just to have a stencil. I got a little down here. I can add pounce, pounce, add some more. Use a light pounce, don't do it hard. And voila! I'm going to turn it so I don't mess up. So you don't have to use the stencil for exactly what it was made for. You can use it. To add accents anywhere. I think it helps to also just get your creativity juices flowing. Inspiration. I'm going to add let's see. I want to add, let's do this right here. That's the really cool thing about this is no two will ever be the same. Make sure no paint got on the other side. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm going getting a little paint on there that I don't want. Let's see if I can get it off. You have a little small window to get in there. But once that window closes, you're out of luck. You know what? I need one right up there. I need one up there. Let's see, we'll put a little one up there. I could be here forever doing this. All right, that's it. No more. I lied. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it. All right. And there he is. Oh, guys, you didn't tell me I messed up. How in the world did I do that? My hand, probably. All right, I think what I'm going to do is improvise. And I'm going to just lift it off and then repaint. Oh my goodness. I've never done this before. This is my first time doing this. But it's too cute. I don't want to mess it. I remember when I was younger, and if I would have messed up, that was it. But you know what? Mistakes happen. And depending on the mistake, this mistake here definitely needs to be fixed. But they can be fixed. See? Don't worry if you make a mistake. You're the only one who knows usually. Except now you guys all know. You all know I made a mistake. That's all right. I'm going to throw my white back on here. Alrighty. I can't see. Gotta switch glasses. Aw, thanks, Kim. I saw that you were starting a new or expanding your business. How's that going? Are you going to be doing lives? All right, I'm going to go ahead and see. It's fixed. So I really couldn't have painted over that because it was black. Just won't. It wouldn't. It would take forever to try to cover that. So to do what I did was just I'll tell you what, people don't realize how much time it takes to really do a business. I mean, it's fun to be in your own business, but it really does take a lot. You got the technical part, well, for me, it's more of the creating part. I just realized it looks more of an egg. That's all right. I think he's cute. All right. And then basically what I did was I just took like about, I think they were like 3-inch or 4-inch pieces. I just cut or ripped. Actually, I do a lot of ripping. I ripped 1-inch pieces from my fabric stash. Just layered them together and then just tied them with the twine. So let's says easy peasy, and then I glued that on. Then I glued and stapled on the hanger there. So, and I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 pieces that I put in there for that. It just depends on how thick you want your ribbon. And then the same thing will happen with this guy. I'll do the same thing once I add back his little. Alrighty, so I will put in the comments the I don't think I used that one. This link to the stencil so you can see if anyone's interested in that. If you guys. And then, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know if you're watching the replay. Or tomorrow, if you want to come on live with me, I think I said about 7 p.m. I'll be on live to sell my products. I have quite a bit of new, well, not quite a bit. I have some new stuff. I'm afraid. I'm glad some new creations that I made. Let's see. There we go. There we go. He's all fixed. Woohoo! Alrighty. Yeah, I'm selling these. These will be I don't remember if I'm not going to say exactly because I got to think about it for a second. But yeah, I'll be selling these tomorrow at the during the live, or if you want one, just I'll just message you. But I would love for you to come on the live. All right, my friends, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm glad that you're here. What time is it? Oh, it's about an hour. I love crafting. I've been doing it all day today. I love it. This needs to be my full-time job. I seriously need to have it. I just love it. Anyway, all right, have a great afternoon. I'll see you guys tomorrow about 7 to do my live sale. I got lots of fun, cutesy stuff. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.